Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. General McWillie, Colonel Pappel, distinguished veterans of the regiment, soldiers of 116 Infantry, friends and families of the regiment, welcome to the 116 Infantry Award Ceremony. 1st Battalion, 16th Infantry Regiment is the most decorated battalion in the United States Army. Organized in 1861 as the 11th Infantry, the battalion has played a major role in most of the nation's defining battles. During the U.S. Civil War, the battalion distinguished itself in 12 separate campaigns to include Manassas, Fredericksburg, Sharpsburg, Gettysburg, and Petersburg. The battalion witnessed the Confederates surrender at Appomattox Courthouse and spent the following 12 years occupying the southern states. A reorganization in 1869 designated the unit 1st Battalion, 16th Infantry Regiment. In June 1877, the battalion transferred to Fort Riley, Kansas, where they spent the next 21 years providing security along the Santa Fe Trail and battling hostile Indian tribes throughout Kansas, Missouri, and Colorado. Earning a reputation as one of the Army's elite battalions, 116 Infantry secured the Mexican border between 1880 and 1883. In 1886, 116 Infantry participated in the expedition to capture the famed Apache warrior, Geronimo. Following the sinking of the USS Maine, 1st Battalion played a key role in the Spanish-American War. Though legend says that Roosevelt's Rough Riders captured San Juan Hill, historians have argued that they merely followed behind soldiers of the 16th. In 1899, the battalion was sent to the Philippines, where it fought a successful counterinsurgency that is still studied today. In the years leading up to World War I, 116 was called to a variety of missions to include occupation in Alaska and the punitive expedition to capture Pancho Villa. The battalion's success led to its selection as one of the first units to deploy to Europe as part of the newly formed 1st Division. From 1917 to 1919, 116 Infantry fought in 9 campaigns, including Aisne-Marne, Saint-Mihiel, Nieuw-Argonne, and Cantigny. Among other awards, the battalion was awarded French and Belgian Forges, as well as the French Croix de Guerre with Palm. Despite heavy casualties, the battalion never failed to take an objective and never lost any ground to gain. During the interwar years, 116 Infantry was stationed at Fort Jay on Governor's Island, New York. Along with various training exercises across the country, the battalion served as an honor guard for events in New York City to include a World's Fair, the dedication of Yankee Stadium, and visits by foreign dignitaries. In recognition of their service, Mayor LaGuardia designated the 16th Infantry as New York's own. As tensions mounted before World War II, 116 Infantry prepared for battle with exercises throughout the Carolinas, Georgia, and Florida. On November 8, 1942, 116 Infantry landed in Algeria as part of Operation Torch. The battalion distinguished itself across northern Africa by repelling Field Marshal Rommel's main effort at El Hamra Pass near Kasserine. 116 Infantry continued their pursuit of the Germans with Operation Husky, the invasion of Sicily. On 6 June 1944, 1st Battalion landed on Omaha Beach, opposed by the heaviest German resistance of D-Day. After 443 days of sustained combat and 16 campaigns, the battalion was awarded 5 Presidential Unit Citations, 2 additional French Croix de Guerre with Palm, and 4 soldiers were awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. Following post-war occupation of Germany, in 1965, the battalion deployed to Vietnam, where it would spend the next 5 years in nearly continuous combat. The battalion fought 15 separate campaigns, primarily in the Lai Key area. 116 Infantry was awarded 2 Republic of Vietnam Crosses of Gallantry with Palm and 1 Republic of Vietnam Civil Action Honor Medal. Soldiers from the battalion earned 1 Medal of Honor, hundreds of Distinguished Service Crosses, and countless silver and bronze stars. 116 Infantry spent the next 20 years in Germany conducting various exercises to prepare for a mechanized war against the Soviet Union. Though the battalion did not deploy to Operation Desert Storm, it served a critical role in the command and control of U.S. forces and equipment moving through Germany to Saudi Arabia and Kuwait. In 1991, 516 Infantry at Fort Riley reflagged as 116 Infantry, thus transferring the battalion colors from Germany to Kansas. The battalion would next conduct peacekeeping operations in Balkans as part of Operation Joint Endeavor. In August 2003, 116 Infantry deployed to Fallujah and Ramadi, Iraq, and returned to Fort Riley, Kansas in October 2004. While in Iraq, the battalion was attached to the 82nd Airborne Division and then 1st Marine Expeditionary Unit. They most notably fought the Fedayeen in the Battle of Ramadi on 6 April to reestablish peace in the city. In 2006, 116 Infantry was split into 3 deployed companies and 6 training companies. Alpha Company trained soldiers in Djibouti, while Bravo Company and Charlie Company provided security on critical supply routes throughout Iraq. Delta, India, Kilo, Lima, Mike, and November companies executed a training mission for transition teams tasked with training Iraqi Army and police. In 2009, the most decorated U.S. Army Infantry Battalion began its transition to a combined arms battalion in preparation for future deployments. In November 2010, 116 Infantry received short notice that they would deploy to Afghanistan in January 2011 in support of Combined Forces, Special Operations Component Command, Afghanistan, and Combined Joint Task Force, Afghanistan. They deployed to 58 remote locations across Afghanistan attached with Army Special Forces, Navy SEALs, and Marine Special Operations teams. The soldiers of 116 Infantry decisively completed over 10,000 missions in support of village stability operations, which is a revolutionary concept to combat the war on terror in Afghanistan. The battalion returned to Fort Riley in December 2011, bringing every soldier home, a true testament to the outstanding performance of the soldiers and leaders of the Iron Ranger Battalion. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of 1st Battalion, 16th Infantry Regiment.
Today, it is my great privilege to recognize and honor 2 generations of Iron Ranger heroes for their actions during combat in Vietnam and Afghanistan. Sergeant Brian Juergens, an exceptional non-commissioned officer who sacrificed so much for his country that we will forever owe him a debt of gratitude. He faced every challenge in Afghanistan head-on, never backing down from the enemy, earning the respect and admiration of his fellow Iron Rangers. Today, we will present him the oldest military award, the Purple Heart. Originally established by then General George Washington and awarded for military merit starting in 1792, it is now awarded in the name of the President of the United States to our brave soldiers who are wounded while engaged in combat with the enemy. The Purple Heart differs from all other decorations in that an individual is not recommended for the decoration, rather he or she is entitled to it upon meeting certain criteria. The Purple Heart presented today is one of 500,000 that was minted in anticipation of the United States invasion of Japan at the end of World War II. We will also present Sergeant Juergens 2 of the Army's newest awards, the Combat Action Badge and the Afghanistan Campaign Medal for his honorable service in ground combat against enemy forces in Afghanistan. Additionally, we recognize 4 fellow members of Bandido Charlie Company for their valorous actions almost 43 years ago in the Republic of Vietnam. It is an honor to be part of this ceremony to honor these Iron Rangers for their valorous actions that is well overdue. These men fought heroically in the Battle of Bin Long Province in August of 1969 against an overwhelming enemy force of 2 North Vietnamese Army regiments and still carried the day. These soldiers displayed a dedication and bond to each other that only veterans know. And it was this bond that drove these extraordinary men to act so courageously and risk their lives to save the lives of their brothers while fighting the enemy. That bond runs strong to this day as they continue to remain as friends and comrades in arms. Their devotion to each other over all these years allows us this opportunity to be part of recognizing these American heroes for their valorous actions on 12 August 1969. I would also like to personally thank each and every family for the support that you have provided your soldier during their actions and in the years since. As the Army is the strength of the nation and our soldiers are the strength of the Army, the families are the strength of our soldiers. Without that strong bedrock of support, we would not be as strong an Army as we are. I would also like to personally thank Phil Greenwell for working so hard to bring us all together today. No mission too difficult, no sacrifice too great, duty first. Iron Rangers, always ready.
We will now present Sergeant Juergens with his award. Attention to orders. The President of the United States of America has awarded the Purple Heart to Sergeant Brian C. Juergens for wounds received in action on 7 August 2011 in Afghanistan. Sergeant Juergens was also awarded the Army Commendation Medal, Army Achievement Medal, Combat Action Badge, Afghan Campaign Medal, and the NATO Medal. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The remaining awards to be presented today are for actions during the Vietnam War. On August 12, 1969, a 300-man task force from 116 Infantry, consisting of the Headquarters, Alpha, and Charlie Company, accompanied by Delta Company, 5th Battalion, 7th Cavalry, were engaged in a major battle 5 kilometers northwest of An Lac. For the 5 days prior to that mission, the battalion was primarily utilized to secure a series of FSBs in areas between Quan Loi and An Lac. On August 10th, a platoon from the Iron Rangers and a company from the Army of the Republic of Vietnam conducted an air assault near An Lac. The combined U.S. and Arvin force, accompanied by the task force commander, Lieutenant Colonel Ken Castles, went into an LZ defended by NVA troops. Upon landing, the Iron Rangers immediately engaged and repelled an NVA unit. Registering 23 enemy KIA, 4 enemy soldiers were captured and provided intelligence that units of the 9th NVA were moving into the area. The next evening, Lieutenant Colonel Castles assembled his task force at FSB Allens 2, about 8 kilometers north of An Lac, as the ready reserve force for the 11th ACR. On the morning of August 12, Lieutenant Colonel Castles was directed to bring his units to the vicinity of FSB Eagle 2 to counterattack an enemy force that had attacked the fire base a couple of hours earlier. Moving under the cover of darkness, the battalion's elements linked up at Eagle 2 at about dawn without encountering the expected enemy resistance. Lieutenant Colonel Castles then decided to move along the enemy's suspected withdrawal route to the southwest. The Iron Rangers moved out with Alpha Company in the lead, with Captain Philip Greenwell's Charlie Company following, and the troops of the 7th Cavalry riding on the tops of the Charlie Company tracks. After traveling about 4 kilometers, Alpha Company's lead elements were hit by RPG and automatic weapons fire at about 7:05 a.m. The first track in the column, the platoon leaders, was struck by an RPG round, and just seconds later struck again by a 57mm recoilless round that killed the driver and set the vehicle on fire. The platoon leader was blown clear of the vehicle, but only slightly dazed. After the lieutenant made his way back to Lieutenant Colonel Castle's track, the battalion commander directed him to mount another of his platoon's tracks and get a base of fire directed at the enemy. Within minutes, the Iron Rangers were engaged against a 600-man battalion of the NVA's 272nd Regiment. Though outnumbered 2-1, Lieutenant Colonel Castles deployed the task force to attack in a southerly direction, with Charlie Company on the right, Alpha on the left, and his command track between the two. The 50 caliber machine guns laid down a base of fire as the 7th Cav troopers scrambled off of the tops of the tracks and deployed forward. The infantrymen from Alpha and Charlie companies also deployed and added their fire to that of the tracks. But the enemy fire steadily increased, and the advance of the battalion was then stopped. Lieutenant Colonel Castles called for air support and artillery. After about 40 minutes of intense fighting, Lieutenant Colonel Castles' track, as well as those of the 2 mechanized company commanders, have been disabled by enemy fire. All 3 commanders scrambled to other vehicles to continue the fight. Soon the enemy force attempted to flank the battalion, but the Iron Rangers countered the move and drove the enemy eastward in an attempt to drive them into a clearing where the 1st Cavalry Division's helicopters, armed with aerial rockets, could attack the NVA troops. By noon, 3 more APCs had been knocked out of action, and the enemy continued the fight. Fighting continued until 4 p.m., when the brigade commander directed the battalion to break contact. The subsequent sweeps located 29 bodies of the 272nd Regiment and numerous weapons and ammunition caches. The fighting cost the Iron Rangers 2 KIA, 27 wounded, and 5 APCs destroyed. We are now privileged to award 4 former members of Bandido Charlie for their valorous actions on 12 August 1969. Alfredo G. Herrera. Attention to orders. This is to certify that the President of the United States of America has awarded the Silver Star to First Sergeant Alfredo G. Herrera for gallantry in action in Vietnam on 12 August 1969.
say is I appreciate all of what the Iron Rangers have done, and all of you for making this ceremony possible. And I appreciate anything that anybody has, especially Phil Greenwell. All his efforts, through his efforts, we're here. And all the good men of Bandido Charlie that were in there at the fire that day and helped us all come through it. Oh, thank you.
Douglas J. Ludlow. Attention to orders. This is to certify that the President of the United States of America has awarded the Silver Star to Private First Class Douglas J. Ludlow for gallantry in action in Vietnam on 12 August 1969.
Still a humble man.
Ronald W. McAdams. Attention to orders. This is to certify that the President of the United States of America has awarded the Silver Star to Specialist 4 Ronald W. McAdams for gallantry in action in Vietnam on 12 August 1969.
Thank you very much. I'd just like to thank all of you for taking the time and the effort to be here, to be with us today on this momentous occasion. And there's well over 100 other Bandidos and Alpha Company soldiers that I would like to accept this in honor, not just myself, but all of them. They're all deserving. And I thank Phil Greenwald, Ken Costage, Al Herrera for all the work, Woody Goldberg, that they put forth to make this day happen.
Stephen Bernacki. Attention to orders. This is to certify that the President of the United States of America has awarded the Bronze Star Medal with V device to Private First Class Stephen Bernacki for valorous achievement in Vietnam on 12 August 1969. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please welcome former Bandido Charlie Commander Phil Greenwell to the podium.
Wow.
road getting to this room today was pretty long, but we had a lot of help, and I just want to thank some of the folks who did. Ken Kostic, Woody Goldberg, Joe Calhoun, Colonel Ken Castles, Major General Albert Malloy, and my congressman, Ben Chandler. And most of all, see, a lot of you have tattoos. I don't have any tattoos, but I've got some tennis shoe marks right about here from my wife, Linda, who constantly kicked me back into the office to get this done. And she never let me forget that a combat commander's duty to do the right thing for his soldiers never ends. But I would like to say something about this event today, because this is so overwhelming. The Big Red One, I guess it would be hard pressed to find anything. The Big Red One is not first in. And this is another example. First class. This is a first class ceremony, and we greatly, you have no idea, it's a dream come true. We greatly appreciate everything all of you have done to get us here. And if I could say one thing, if you don't mind, to my banditos. And I said it to them before. You know what's coming, don't you? I will be remembered someday. Not for anything I say or anything I do, but because I was with you one day when it mattered. And we stood together in the sun. I love you guys. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the 1st Infantry Division song. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony.